I don't know what God is looking down on me that made me talk fit in the lineup here of speeches tonight, but in the ADD generation, we'll try and get through this. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, celebrating Brian Katie's big day on the 4th of July. I think I speak for everyone here when I say we're thankful we didn't go with their second choice of a wedding day, which was Christmas Day. By the way, for those who don't know me here, I'm Brian's older brother, Mark. And that means I have the distinct pleasure of knowing Brian Katie for a couple of years now, and Brian just himself for as long as about anyone knows. You guys look a little nervous that I got the live mic right now. Right. Brian's a guy that's always moved to beat his own drum a little bit. He doesn't always care what other people think of his actions. It's actually kind of refreshing in this day and age. Brian knows what he wants. He isn't the guy to venture far, much from his comfort zone. And, you know, like has been mentioned over in the ceremony earlier, Brian's a little bit of a quirky guy. And I want to take you back to a story when we were kids. It was the mid-'80s. A wonderful time for mostly everyone in this room, I'm sure. At that time, I don't know, some of you in this room will remember the TV show The A-Team with Mr. T. My dad had a van. It wasn't as cool as Mr. T, but it was like this yellowish orange van. But anyways, it was enough for us to pretend like we were the A-Team. And we came back from getting slush puppies one day, and this was before the time of cell phones. So my dad heard the phone ring. He was waiting for an important call from work, so we ran into the house. Unfortunately, I didn't take Brian back into the house with me. So we were sitting in my dad's van, and that was back in the days where you didn't have to like turn on the car to get it in reverse or neutral or anything. And I got behind the front seat and went, and the car went rolling backwards down the driveway. And eventually it smashed into some rocks at the end of our driveway. So my parents heard it. They came right outside. Now, myself, I was Mr. T. So when that van started rolling backwards, I got the hell out of the van. I did a tumble stall, got out of the van. I'm okay. But I left my 4-year-old brother Brian in the van as I rolled down the hill backwards. And eventually it smashed, so my parents, of course, came running outside. And Brian's crying hysterically in the van. My parents, oh my God, Brian, what's wrong? My slush puppy spilled. Wait for applause and laughter. Now we're going to fast forward here. Me and Brian only, less than 2 years apart. We became more friendly as we got through college and stuff. Growing up, we got on each other's nerves quite a bit. But once we got to college and, we became better friends. Now, Brian, pre-Katie, was a guy that had a pretty strict regimen of drinking Bud Lights, playing video games, and eating any food that had bacon in it. Now I'm going to fast forward to present day Brian. He likes good beer with a high alcohol content, which I think Katie's dad, Jeff, gets the assist on turning his beer taste a little bit. He's kind of traded in his video games for Molly the Dog Whisperer. And coming back to the bacon, I heard a rumor from Brian's friends Dave and Joel, who are sitting in the audience tonight, the two flag guys over here. That was flag. They came to Brian's house and they stayed overnight. And instead of a thick cut, nice greasy, crispy bacon, they got served tofu bacon, I hear. So that was a little bit of a rude awakening. kind of wrapping up. We've been to a lot of, myself, I've been to a lot of weddings and stuff, and, you always hear the kind of cliche, like, oh, these guys are perfect for one another and stuff, and I don't know if I can use the word perfect all the time. I kind of go back to something, another wise man, Fred Brissett, he's in the audience too, he told me one time, with marriage, it's about give and take, it's about meeting each other's needs. And I think Brian and Katie do that pretty well, on a small scale. Brian trading in the thick cut bacon for tofu bacon, and Katie, I guess I heard Katie plays fantasy football, and the first year she played with Brian, she was like a champion in the league, which was pretty embarrassing. And on a larger scale, we've heard their story from our minister today, how they've moved. They've moved, of course, for each other, on a couple occasions now. So with that, I want to say, these guys have what it takes to make it. They've shown everyone they can do the give and take and kind of meet each other's needs and take each other's interests. So if anyone has anything left in their glass after 5 speeches now, I want you to raise it high in the air. Nate, that's you too. Okay. And to Brian and Katie, for many happy years, and for their kids never to be fans of any Pennsylvania sports team. I'm out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, dinner will be served.